Hello everybody, welcome back to Bravely Default 2. This is our usual chapter job guide. This one's probably going to be a little bit different to some of the others, just because I'm very happy with the way that the jobs are set up, and I kind of wanted to give a quick review on the new ones that we get in chapter 3. I'm going to try to be quick about this. So the Dragoon, in short, sucks. I don't really like any of its abilities. The only real good one that I kind of enjoyed using was Sonic Thrust, but we can actually do that with abilities anyway. It's basically just an attack against multiple enemies, and a lot of the rest of it I just didn't really find that much of a use for. There's somewhat maybe of a utility in being able to kind of maybe avoid some attacks from your enemy, but they can just default whenever you kind of jump out of combat, so I just didn't find much applicable use for a lot of this stuff. The Swordmaster, amazing. I've got one in the party right now. Basically, with this ability alone, it is fantastic. So we are basically, so long as your Swordmaster is at BP 0 or 1 or below, so 1 or 0 generally is where you want to keep it, you are basically going to recover MP, HP, and get cured of status ailments at regular intervals, which is just amazing. We also get some immunities for her personally. Whoever it is you're going to have as basically your healer. Is then going to be able to not be killed if she has more than above 20% health, and be immune to some of the more annoying kind of charm spells and stuff out there. In addition to that, synergizes really, really well with the White Mage, just because it has a high heal stat, and actually allows your White Mage to do some decent damage because it has all of the light magic. Just really, really good all round. Keep that one on. Awesome. Swordmaster, I was questioning until I just tested it with the Beastmaster here. This can be made to be phenomenal. It isn't phenomenal right outside of the box. We're going to show you guys kind of what I've done to make this crazy as I go a bit more in depth into this one in a second. And then we have the Oracle, which is kind of somewhere between the Spiritmaster and the Bard. I don't know why I've got it to Pixmancer there. And overall, it's not bad. The Triple R is a bit weird. The elemental support stuff is pretty good, so you can give your characters an element. So if you are facing against enemies that have an elemental weakness, you can put that on a character. My biggest problem with it is that a lot of its buffs and a lot of things that it's doing are single target only, and that is just really, really awkward to try and use through longer battles. So it kind of just didn't really fit how I like playing. So let's go back to the Swordmaster then, because I want to show you guys the double duty here. So the reason this is important, basically you're going to get both specialties from whatever subclass you use, provided you have two of the same weapons in your arms. The cool thing here is we've got S scaling in swords, so let's just take a quick peek, sneak peek that we're using two swords here. I don't have a second defender, otherwise that's probably what that would be, or stagger and sword should I say. Let me go back in there. And that has basically given her, combined with the rather overpowered beast class, an insane amount of attack. Now the reason that doing it this way around is important, because you could obviously, like without that, you could just go Beastmaster, Swordmaster instead if you wanted, but the extra scaling there, as you can see, is giving it an extra almost 100 attack power, which is pretty dope. I'm just really, really liking it. Now the reason my Beastmaster is so powerful is because my entire party has been running, because I wanted to test this, let me get abilities up here, has been running the Beast Whisperer skill, and so we have a lot of captured monsters, and seeing how powerful these characters can become, that's probably not going to change anytime soon, because it's just absolutely wrecking stuff at this point. As you can see, higher stats than the Freelancer. I'll actually go all the way up just so you guys can see, by a considerable margin on everybody, especially her. And so what this results in is we can, well, I'm going to show you the build for this character specifically, right? This build is going to revolve around having solid state in, so we can attack twice. And then you can basically do whatever you want, but the 4-forward flurry can be useful, but you're probably not going to use it because we're going to have solid stance on, which allows us to attack twice. The thing that makes that kind of crazy is when we come over to Adele here, which is the Adele, yep. We're going to have multitask on here, and we're going to have indiscriminate rage. So that means we're going to attack twice against every enemy, and there's a 30% chance you're going to attack again for each of those enemies that she hits. So it's just really good. So we mix that with Mug and Magpie to get lots of items out of the stuff for attacking, and then Beast Whisperer obviously just because we're capturing monsters. So that's that one spoken to. That's probably the one I was most excited about because I was just playing around there and oh my god, it just hits like a truck. Amazing. So across the party then, we've got amazing healing, we've got amazing physical attack from one character, and then we've basically got a Beastmaster mage, either a red mage or a black mage for elemental coverage. You could quite easily, if you know which enemies you're going to be facing, like before a boss or something, switch one of these out, whichever one it is you're not going to be using, and switch it out for maybe for a bard to give yourself some buffs. But I just feel like overall, this just runs really, really smoothly. And to show that then, we're going to face a local boss here. I haven't practiced against it yet, and I'm not even going to use charm spells with the charm immunity because, well, we've got to see how well this build just holds up against general enemies. So, yeah, wish me luck. Cool. So, overall, not a perfect outing, but I think it demonstrates the really good damage potential for the party. So let's just go over the rest of how this build works then, because you guys probably want to see the abilities and stuff we're using. Probably would have been better for me to do that at the beginning. I'm so sorry. Basically, everybody apart from Adele then is going to be using 2 hands are better than 1. It took me a while to realize that actually this works with staffs, and this does in fact increase your magic and restoration output. So on anybody using a staff, so that's anybody that's planning on casting magic, you should probably use this. I've got drain attack on here. That's probably a bit of a throwaway. Probably going to end up replacing that with something because it's not really doing much for me at this point. Magic critical, so we can get extra damage, although he really didn't need it. Revenge is pretty cool, so when we take damage we get extra BP, and obviously Beast Whisperer. For the white mage then, indiscriminate attack, just in case she decides she wants to attack for some reason. I just couldn't think of anything better that I wanted to put on there. 2 hands better than 1. Job, specialty 1. So, whoops. I'm sorry guys, my mind's just completely blanking out there. Basically that allows her to, what is it? 15% of the time she takes 30% less damage or something like that. It works out like 15% less damage overall every now and then. So just kind of a bit useful for her. Beast Whisperer, convert MP, so she's taking damage, she gets more MP back. A lot of this can probably be changed though when I think about it. And then of course this setup, very, very similar to our other aggressive mage here, which should basically give you all of the abilities that we're using. Going through gear, it's basically whatever the heaviest army you can fit on them, give them some good magical attack if you can. Obviously restoration on our healer here. Bit more. Oh, give you physical attack. Probably should have given you magic attack. That's probably why I wasn't doing as much damage. And then physical attack on our Swordmaster, Beastmaster combo of Doom. And that is pretty much everything as to how my setup's going to be. Like I say, there's some really, really strong stuff in here. Good clearance for enemies, lots of healing. The only real thing we don't really have is strong buffs, I suppose. Like maybe I'll try and find a way to fit the bard in. But I'm just really, really enjoying it so far, so I want to share it with you guys. Hopefully this is helpful for some of you, and I shall see you all in the next video.